So for task 5, there is no green screen, but I am going to go over how to keyframe images on the screen so that you can change their position, rotation, their scale, or opacity, kind of like a little bit of animation in editing. So for the first one, I'm going to show you how to take this ball and have it bounce up and down across the screen. So first, I am going to change the speed of the clip because it's at 5 seconds right now. So I'm going to change it to 4 seconds. And then adjust the background time as well. From here, I will go to Effect Controls, click on the keyframe. So all these are keyframes, these little clocks next to the word. So we have position, scale, rotation, and opacity. So I'm going to take the ball and have it bounce up and down across the screen. To do that, I'm going to click on motion to activate it, click on the position keyframe clock, click on motion again, and then up here, this is the time for the ball clip. So I'm going to move it a little bit, and then I'm going to move the ball up, and you'll see that it creates a little keyframe, and then move it again, bring the ball down, move it again, the ball up, down, and then the last I will have it bounce off the page. So I'm going to bring it back and then hit play, and you'll see the ball bounce up and down across the screen. In the next example, I'm going to show you how to make this ball rotate and kind of spin as it's bouncing, because balls don't necessarily just bounce straight up and down without any rotation. So for this, I'm going to add this rotation to it. We have the keyframes for the position, the up and down position. So now I'm going to move my playhead and then kind of spin this so we see that the ball is going to rotate between the first keyframe and the second, and then we will continue on for each keyframe. So the amount of times you spin it will be the amount of times that the ball will spin between each keyframe. So I'm going to bring the time back again and then press play, and this time it will go up and down and also spin or rotate as it's bouncing. For the next example, I'm going to go over how to keyframe scale, so making something go from bigger to smaller. So I'm actually first going to copy and paste these two clips, the ball and the background again, and I'm going to remove the keyframes. So if you click the clock, it will ask, would you like to delete it? The keyframe, you say okay. I'm going to then delete the rotation keyframe and click OK. And then now I'm going to put the ball in the center of the path. And then I'm going to bring my playhead to the beginning. I'm going to make the ball go straight first. So I'm going to click the keyframe for position, and then move the playhead all the way to the end, and then bring the ball straight up because it's going to go down the path. So obviously it's going to get smaller, but we're going to first just create the position and the motion that it goes straight. Next, I'm going to click the scale keyframe. I'm going to bring the playhead to the end again. And then from 100, or whatever the scale is, I'm going to bring it all the way up to 0. And then you'll see it go straight back and get smaller and disappear in the distance. Next, I'm going to show you how to make the ball rotate as it rolls or goes into the distance. So right now it's just going straight back, but we're going to add a rotation by clicking on the keyframe, bringing the playhead to the end of the clip like before, then spinning the rotation a few times, bringing the playhead back, and then clicking play. And now you'll see the ball rolling down the path. So the last example is going over opacity. Opacity is the amount of transparency on an image. So I removed all of the keyframes from the past ones, and I'm going to make this ball kind of flicker, kind of go lighter, and then back and forth. So click on the opacity keyframe, move the time a little bit, bring my opacity down, move the time a little bit, move it down, move the time, bring it up, move the time, bring it down. And again, this is all your preference. And then time, I'm going to bring it all the way back to 100. And then we'll do the playback. And that's how you keyframe opacity. So in this task, you learn how to keyframe motion, position, rotation, scale, and opacity. So here we have just the motion up and down. We had the rotation up and down, the scale and rotation, so bigger to smaller, and then the opacity.